Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rekakadash. Now, this is a harsh reality here in America. And so, it's all through the Bible how these people that rule America and most of the European countries would pretty much have control of the media and be able to use the media for their causes. Now, my first precept is Psalms 23, verse 4. It says, "Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." Now, the valley of the shadow of death is talking about America and the kingdom of these Edomites. Now, when you go to Psalms 37, and let's see here. Psalms 37 and 30. Salakia. Psalms 37 and 35. It say, "I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree." I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like the green bay tree. Now, this is how they pretty much maintain their power or express their power through their media. And he spread himself by using his media. You see, just like a tree is a shadow. That's why I read Psalms 23. It said, "Walk through the valley of the shadow of death." See, the shadow is talking about the philosophies and the lies that's covering the light, the truth. You see, the deception that these people are using with their media. And see, King David talked about these Edomites in 52. In Psalms 52, he said, "Thou tongue," this is verse 2 of Psalms 52, "the tongue deviseth mischief like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness." Verse 4, "Thou lovest all devouring words, O deceitful tongue." So that's why they call it television. They telling a lie by giving you a vision, and the vision that they giving you is a lie. It all goes back to these red dragons telling lies. When you go to Psalms 58, it lets you know how they operate. Psalms 58 verse 3, it says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. See, the bloodline of Esau, it's as soon as they come out the womb, they start speaking lies, and they speaking lies from birth because it's in their bloodline. See, their birth, the parents that birthed them was liars, and so they just it's in their DNA, it's in their makeup, it's who they are. Their parents was liars like Esau. Coming out of the womb, they be lying. So when you go into the New Testament, well, yeah, let's get that. In 2 Corinthians, let's see where we at. Because this is what's going on in America. See, that's what it said, the U.S. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, it say, in whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believeth not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, of Yahushua, who is the image of God, shall shine unto them. You see, so this is how they blind the minds, with the media. You see, they blind the mind of these 2/3 who believe not, with the media. And so they have the minds of these people. Whatever they want to tell these people, they tell them. And that's why they say the blind lead the blind. If the blind lead the blind, they both will fall into a ditch. You see, or a pit, because that's where these Edomites going. They're going to be in a pit. And everybody that's following them and believing their lies is going to go in the pit with them. Now you got, what's that, 2 Thessalonians? 2 Thessalonians bring out why and how these Edomites is operating. It says, let me start at, let me get the whole context, and start at 3. Now this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Now, we know who we talking about. We talking about Esau, Edom. Verse 4, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God or is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And we know that's what the so-called white Jesus is all about. And only one nation perpetrated the white Jesus. So jumping to verse 8, 2 Thessalonians 2nd chapter, it says, and then shall the wicked be revealed. So that wicked, and then shall that wicked be revealed. So that wicked is being revealed through the Bible. Esau, Edom is being revealed, the man of sin, the son of perdition. They're being revealed with the Bible. But it shows you how they get down. In verse 9, it say, even him whose coming is after the workings of Satan, with all power and sign and lying wonders. You see, that's how they use their media, lying wonders. Verse 10, it say, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. So They deceiving the masses through their media, touching the minds of the people, blinding the minds of the people. But see, this is for a purpose. Verse 11 lets you see what the purpose is. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. So who sent the strong delusion? Who sent these Edomites with their corporations and with their media? The Most High sent them. You see, because you have to believe the lie and reject the truth for them to blind your mind. See, you done rejected the truth. And so let me get see, that's the spirit. The Most High set that whole situation up. Let me get let's see here. It's Hosea. Let me get Hosea. The Most High set that whole situation up right there. It's Hosea verse 4. He say, in verse 1, it say, hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. See, he's letting you know this land, the valley of the shadow of death, or the land of the shadow of death, like Job say. I think what, Job 29? Let's get that. No, Job 24. Job 24:17. It say, for the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. You see, if one know them, they are in the terror of the shadow of death. So Job letting you know that the land of these Edomites is the shadow of death. And let's see if he had another one that talked about the land. What is this? 22. Let's see here. 22. Job 34:22. It say, there is no darkness nor shadow of death where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. You see, the workers of iniquity, the man of sin, he hides himself in his land. The place where he's going to be is the shadow of death. You see? And so, this is where these Edomites reside, because Job was in the land of Uz, where the Edomites live. And so that's what they was talking about when he talked about the shadow of death. Now, when you look at Hosea, when he was saying there was no knowledge of God in the land, that's why it's the land of the valley of the shadow of death, because it's darkness here, the land of darkness. The wicked in great power, like in Psalms, spread himself like a green bay tree, with the shadow, showing the shadow over the light, blocking the light, so these 2/3 can't see. Now in Hosea 4:6, he say, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. You see, they reject knowledge. So that's why the Lord sent a strong delusion, Esau, Edom, to blind they behind, in other words, or to push his strong delusion of lies, because they reject the truth. They hearing the truth, and they reject it. They rather believe a lie. And so that's how the Lord get down. And so these individuals want to believe the lie, want to believe these Edomites telling them lies. And so they rejecting the truth, and he's going to allow them to be lied to. And so he set the whole situation up, because they are the sword of the Lord. I want to get that in Psalms, because that's the main situation. Psalm 17:13, it say, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked." Esau, Edom, see, which is your sword. You see, Esau, Edom is the sword of the Lord. Going on and say, verse 14, "From men which are thy hand." You see, he has them in his hand, and he's controlling them. From men of the world. So he controlling these Edomites to do what he want them to do, to blind the 2/3, the ones that want to reject his knowledge and reject the truth. He used them to blind these 2/3. Let's get that on how he controlled the king. Proverbs 21, verse 1. "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord." You see, that's what Psalm 17 said. Men that's in your hand. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will, wherever he will. God turn their minds wherever he want to turn their mind. You see, because their mind is in his hand or in his control. And so he used them to blind these 2/3. And that's what the Most High told the 2/3. And when I say 2/3, I'm talking about the 2/3 of the nation of Israel who reject the word of the Most High and want to live in wickedness. When you look at Matthew chapter 13, he told them that he was going to blind them. Because in Matthew, he's talking to the Israelites. He said in, Matthew 13, verse 13, it says, "Therefore speak out to them in parables, because they see not, and hear not, neither do they understand." And 14, "And in them it is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, By hearing ye hear not, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall not see, ye shall see, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive." 15, "For the people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have closed, lest at any time they shall see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and shall understand with their heart, and shall be converted, and I shall heal them." You see, so he letting you know he blinded these 2/3 because of their wickedness. And they say and John say the wicked, the one that's living in darkness, they hate the light. You see, that's why they don't come, because they reject. They see it, but they hate it and reject it. Let me get that real quick. I ended on that. I don't went a good minute. Let's see. John chapter 3, and let's see. John chapter 3 and 19. "And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil." You see, the 2/3, they love the darkness rather than the light. You see, they love what Esau is pushing. The wickedness that Esau, the wicked, is pushing. They love that more than the light, the marvelous light of them being an Israelite and living in righteousness, following God's commandment. You see, and so that's what we're dealing with here in America, the land of the shadow of death. And Habakkuk tells you that Esau is as death. These Edomites is as death. And so I'm gonna leave it there. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah, B'Shem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.